Welcome back to the Friday 13th YouTube channel. Today I've got a progressive rock album review for you. This is by Arjen Anthony Lucassen, who's just released his new album for Inside Out Records. The album title is called Songs No One Will Hear. It's a very interesting album, pretty much laid back, but if you like the Arjen stuff, this is an album for you. Check out this review. Thanks for watching. Now, Arjen is pretty much a genius from Holland. Some of you may know his old band, some of you may not. His old band was called Vengeance. It was quite popular in Holland back in the day. Released some really good albums, melodic hard rock, metal. In 1995, Arjen released their debut album. This was called A Final Experiment. And this band would have elements of folk, classic rock, and also progressive rock. In total, the band released 10 albums. Transitus was the last album. This was released in 2020. Now, Arjen's also been involved with a couple more projects, like I say, Star One, which for me is more my kind of thing. He was also involved with a band called Guilt Machine, The Gentle Storm, Streams of Passion, and the list just goes on. Now, he's done 4 solo albums. The first solo album that he did was released in 1994. This was called Pools of Sorrow, Waves of Joy. In 1996, this was called Strange Hobby. It was a covers album, featured some really good covers, followed by the next album, Lost in the New Rail. This was released in 2012. Arjen's very much influenced by progressive rock, such bands as Genesis, Yes, Rush, Marillion, and he also has a lot of Dutch musicians throughout his career. He also has some great American musicians. He has a singer like James LeBrie from Dream Theater, Devin Graves from Psychotic Waltz. Now, this is a pretty long album, this new album. It consists of 3 CDs. There's plenty of tracks and some really good musicians on here. First of all, I'm going to tell you what the musicians are featured on this new album. So the lineup for this album would be Arjen Jensen on lead and backing vocals, Keon Hartstedt on drums, Joost van den Breek on Hammond organ. We'd have Ben Matho on violins, Duran Goossens on flute, Jarian Westerveld on cello, and Arjen, like I say, on guitar, is doing lead vocals and other instruments on the album. Now, there are some guest vocalists on this album, so now I'm going to tell you how the guest vocalists are. We'd have Flo Jensen on vocals, as we all know, with Nightwish, and Flo sings on the song We'll Never Know. We'd also have a vocalist called Robert. Sarita Broku sings on the song Our Final Song. And also on the same song would have Marcella Bouvier, also Patty Gurdy, and Herdy Gurdy on the song Our Weary Soldier. So that's the artist on the album. Now, it's going to be released as 3 CDs, a Blu-ray and limited edition vinyl, red vinyl transparent. Opener is the song or the intro called The End of the World Show. This is followed by the first song. This is followed by The Clock Clicks Down, which is the opening track. Now, The Clock Clicks Down is a really good opening song. It's quite heavy at times. It's not as pompous as I thought it would be. Some of the album has some really mellow songs, but some of the album has some heavy songs. Arjen's vocals are really good, and at times the music comes across between Marillion, a little bit of Pink Floyd, and a UK band called Mostly Autumn. This song also reminds me of the heaviness of Star One, but it also features a great singer called Arjen Jensen. She does a fantastic job alongside Arjen. Arjen's a fantastic guitarist. At times his guitar playing is very spacey, very drifty. Kind of reminds me of the cosmic things that Pink Floyd did do, or maybe Psychotic Waltz. Next up is the song Goddamn Conspiracy. This is a really cool song. Like I say, Arjen's doing the vocals and guitars, and also Arjen's helping him with the vocals. She's a great singer, like I said. This is a little bit more laid back to the previous song. However, it does have some up-tempo bits and takes me back to the 70s. I guess you could say there's some kind of spacey parts in this. It kind of reminds me of David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust. And there's a little hint on this song with Dream Theater. So if you're a fan of Dream Theater, you're probably going to like this one as well. Another band that springs to mind in this song when I listen to the violin is Kansas. Now, as I have a promo, I don't have the full track listings for the new album. So I've only been selected with so many songs. So the next song I'm going to tell you about is a song called The Universe Has Our Plans. This is a really good song, actually. It's really catchy. I like the way he puts some really good ideas together. I've got to say, Arjen reminds me a little bit of the singer from The Gathering. Annika has also worked with Arjen in various projects. I do really like the heaviness of this song. I really like the violins as well. It gives you the cross between the Kansas and some of the heaviness of Star One or maybe Dream Theater. Next is an upbeat, happy song. It's called Shagathon. Yeah, folks, Shagathon. Kind of sounds like an orgy played as a band. It's a very uplifting song. And if you listen to the lyrics and listen to the music, you're probably going to laugh as well. Shagathon. Now, the next song I have is called We'll Never Know. This kind of reminds me of the Beatles and Pink Floyd. I have to say, I'm not a fan of both bands. However, I do respect Arjen for doing this. It's really catchy, but very mellow. Now, this is a very, very interesting album. And if you like experimentations, like Arjen's album is really, really good. It's mixing folk, classic rock, and classic prog rock, and nicely polished with a great production. For the effort and sound and the way he's creating all these songs, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. Most of you out there is probably going to give it 5 out of 5. But much respect to the guy for trying something new, as he always does. Check out the new album by Arjen. It's called Songs No One Will Hear, and it's released on Inside Out Records. Go and check it out, folks. Like I say, it does come as a limited pack. Thanks for watching, Metalheads. Enjoy the review.